Welcome to Off the Top, episode 5. AI gives me a random phrase. I read it and just see where it takes me. The phrase for episode 5 is someone left a trombone in the desert. That creates a really cool image in my head. If I was a photographer still, I would get a trombone and I'd place it in the desert. I think that would make a great picture. I don't know why. I've never seen anything like that. I'm sure that if I do a search on YouTube, or not YouTube, but online, and search for images of instruments alone in the desert, I'm assuming I would probably find quite a few, but I'm not sure. I'm going to check that after I'm done talking. I love the saxophone when it comes to wind instruments. That's my favorite. I didn't tell my youngest that was my favorite when he was deciding what instrument to play when he was around 8 years old. And when he picked the saxophone, I was like, yes, thank you. So he's getting really good at it. He's getting better every day. And he's torn right now between going to college and becoming a lawyer or pursuing a career in music. And as a dad, I feel torn, you know, on one hand, absolutely go with the music, go with what you love, make it work. On the other hand, I know what it's like when you're going to do something creative and you spend your whole life being poor. And it's really frustrating. If you get that break, if things work out, of course, go with the music. My God, you're doing something you love and you're making a living. What's better than that? But if it doesn't work, life could be difficult when it doesn't have to be. I mean, if I'd have just gotten like a regular job, let's say my first job would have been, let's say, at Target when I'm, 16 to 18 years old, and I never quit that job. I stay there all the way up to my age right now. I would have been way better off than bouncing around doing all the different things I was doing. And if he goes to college to become a lawyer, he can make so much more money and he could retire so much earlier that he could take the years from 50, 60 on and really just have fun with music. And just because you're working a regular job does not mean you don't have the evenings and weekends to perform. One of the guys I used to perform with, I mean, that's what he's doing. He was in a band, and that was pretty much all he did. But he's got a full-time job now, and he still gets to go out and perform on the weekends and have fun with it. But my God, if it works when you pursue something you love to do, it's almost worth not having it work out just because the reward is so great. On the other hand, if I can make a choice right now to go back in time and just get a regular job and just keep it, I probably would do that. But then again, I wouldn't do that because I've learned so much about what I could have done to make all the things I was doing work that I'd probably just do it the right way this time. But there are no guarantees in life, and I know that. But I do know what the regular, stressful 9 to 5 job is like, and it could be really soul crushing for a lot of people. I've never fit into the regular, just getting a regular job. I didn't do well in school for a lot of reasons, but regular jobs just really kind of were difficult for me. Working on my own was better, but like I said, it could also be so stressful to not know what you're going to do so you can pay your bills this month. But I took it pretty extreme in a lot of areas. And if he decided to pursue music as a career, I'm thinking done the right way. And with everything I've learned and his older sibling has learned, and I think he could actually make something happen with it because there are so many areas you can get into. And he's been writing a lot of songs lately, and the lyrics are good. I know I'm his dad, but they're good. And they don't go where I think they're going to go. And his chorus doesn't sound like I think it's going to sound. And that's what I think gives him an advantage because it's different. I listen to every type of music you could imagine a lot. And so for him to be able to put a song together that sounds different to me and that I like, that's a good sign. And let alone the fact that he's getting really good with the saxophone. And that gives you a whole world of performing in orchestras and things like that. So orchestras? Okay, well, you know what I mean. But anyway, I don't know in this situation the best advice to give him other than you have 2 more years of high school. Keep pushing, keep learning, and, just see how you feel after another couple of years. That's the good news, is that he's actually thinking about his future. I never thought about my future. I still have a hard time thinking about my future. I didn't plan anything, man. I was just surviving every day. And so the fact that he's already planning, it gives him a really good chance of having a decent life. But anyway, that's it for Off the Top episode 5. Keep an eye open for episode, oh man, I got to use 2 hands, 6. Thank you.